this microphone working? Oh, Martin, what a lovely turnout. Out. Lovely to see. Well, lovely, Martin. Here's have a look who we got here. Yes. Where are you from? Sorry? Sorry? I heard you. I was just bloody sorry. Let me tell you a bit about myself, ladies and gentlemen. Anybody at the back, you can come down the front if you want. You know, it's not frightening. It's not a horror story tonight. I'm going to tell you about myself because I did have a terrible childhood. I was worse than that. I had 3 brothers and 2 sisters, and we lived in a 2-bedroom house. I didn't know what it was like to sleep on my own until I got married. I don't know why I married her. She's bloody awful. She had pigtails under her armpits. Fat. We had to have her surgically removed from a hula hoop. Fair play, she lost 2 stone. I don't know how, I tied the buggers on tight enough. 25 years we were together. That wasn't love, that was spite. I wasn't going to leave her because I knew it'd cheer her up. Every time we made love, she kept her eyes closed. She couldn't bear to see me enjoy myself. Terrible. Unfortunately, she came to a very, very sad end. There's alcohol that killed her. I come home pissed and shot her. Don't the police ask you stupid questions? Huh? You've got no sense of humour, have they? He pulled me over, he said, "You're the driver of this car?" I said, "It's automatic, but I've got to bloody be here, haven't I?" He said, "Can I take your name?" I said, "What am I going to use?" He said, "I'm taking you in." I said, "Would you please take care of my insect collection?" He says, "Is it in the boot?" I said, "No, it's on the front number plate." You can't talk. I was walking up Bromyard High, so I was pulling a bit of string like this. Police stopped me. He said, "Why are you pulling that bit of string?" I said, "You tried pushing it." I was in the square. He said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm rowing me boat." He said, "You haven't got a boat." I said, "Oh shit." What are you doing? My friend Paddy, he came across from Ireland and he wanted a job. And he heard the local building site was taking people on, so he's off down there. There's 2 or 3 of them waiting for a job, and the foreman says, "Right, I could interview you all now, but I'd like you to know straight away, I only employ Irishmen on this site." "Right," he said to the first fellow, "What's your name?" He said, "Pat." He said, "You're not Irish. Irish, you'd have said your name was Patrick." Said to the second fellow, "What's your name?" He said, "Mickrick." "Jesus," he said, "this is no good. I'm going to give you all a high Q test," he said. In my hand behind my back, he said, "I'm holding something that's round. It's a fruit, and it begins with N." The first fellow said, "Is it an orange?" "Jesus, it's not an orange." Second fellow said, "Is it an apple?" He said, "No, it's not an apple." It's not. Paddy said, "Is it an onion?" He said, "Yes, it is. You got the job. Start tomorrow morning." Paddy said, "Do you know where I can stay? I need some digs." He said, "Right, down the road, number 27, Mrs. Murphy, she'll look after you. She's the one." Great, he's down there. "Mrs. Murphy, do you have a room?" She says, "I do. But you have to share." He said, "I don't mind sharing." She said, "It's a black man." He said, "I don't care. It's great." So he's in the room with the black fella, and the black fella says, "Paddy, I'm going out drinking tonight with my mates. Do you want to come?" Paddy says, "I'm the man for the drinking. I'll be with yous." And they go out, and Paddy gets as pissed as a mattress. And the black fellas think they'll have a laugh, and they brought a tin of boot polish and blacked him up to look like them. Next morning, 7 o'clock, Mrs. Murphy's hammering on the door. "Paddy, would you get up? You'll be late for work." "Oh, Jesus," he's up, he's dressed, he's out the door. "I've no time for the breakfast, Mrs. Murphy." He's down the building site, rushes on, the fellow stops, says, "Where do you think you're going?" "So I'll start work here this morning." So "I'll have to check that with the foreman. Go and stand in the shed over there." Paddy went in the shed, and there's a mirror on the wall. Paddy looked in the mirror. He said, "Oh, Jesus Christ. Mrs. Murphy's woken the wrong one up." Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for coming. Let me give you, well, first of all, I've had a couple of requests. but as you can see, I'm still here. One of the requests is to tell a particular story I tell, which I'll be doing later on in the show. And I've had a very particular request that a gentleman called Jethro makes an appearance tonight. And I've had it on authority. He's now on his way from Cornwall. He's just going past Bristol. And he will be with us later, all right? But what do you see? We've got the setup on stage here. What is going to happen to you tonight? The show is in 3 parts. So we're going to have 2 intervals so you can all get pissed and you laugh a bit more, hopefully. I'll be telling you about that. But over the last 6 months, I've been writing sketches, and some friends of mine have been working very hard rehearsing them for us. So tonight you're going to hear some sketches that I've done, and I've also got some friends who are going to do some music. So each of the 3 parts would have a musical interlude. So, are you ready for your first sketch?
Yes.
Well, this is a place where really we've all got to have work dealings with eventually, and it's not a very happy place. But this fella's doing his best, bless him. I'm hoping he's ready. Okay. Right, the first sketch takes place in the stonemasons, the monumental masons. Thank you.
Good morning, ladies. What can I do for you today?
Good morning. My mother would like a headstone for her husband.
Is he dead?
Well, of course he's dead. Why else would I want a headstone?
Well, I have to ask. I had one man come in, order a headstone for his wife, and she was still alive.
Well, why would he do that?
Wishful thinking, apparently. Now, what type of stone were you thinking of?
Well, I thought slate would be nice.
Slate? Oh, no. Scratch is far too easy.
What about Portland? That's nice.
Portland? No, that's a limestone. Be worn away in no time at all.
Well, what do you recommend?
Granite. That's the stuff. Withstand a nuclear explosion, well, granite. Marvellous stuff, granite.
All right, let's talk about granite.
Okay. Now about the size then. Right. Were you thinking of being buried on top of him? We can arrange a second inscription if you like, if it's not going to be too long before you pop off. How old are you?
87.
This is worth going home, does it? Sorry. What type of inscription were you thinking of?
Well, what do you suggest? I tell you what, I think we'd do something like, in memory of a loving father and grandfather. Great friend.
No, that's what most people say. But what they really think is, thank God the miserable old swine has gone. But nobody has that put on, do they?
Well, what do you suggest then? Yes, my father. He really was a lovely man. Now, please stop upsetting us.
Sorry, just trying to cheer you up. We don't get a lot of laughs in here, you know. Now, would you like us to install the headstone?
Yes, please.
Certain?
Dead. Certain.
Oh, dead certain. I like that. I remember that one. I suppose you're going to tell me the grave is in the dead centre of the cemetery now, are you?
Do you mind? Can we just get on with the pricing, please?
Okay, right. Now, was your husband buried or cremated?
Cremated?
Oh, you're stymied now.
Why?
Well, smaller headstone, innit? You're going to have to use abbreviations to get on all that you want.
Well,
And don't forget, engraving is charged by the letter.
Well, what do you suggest?
What was your father's full name?
Norman Stanley Michael Fitzpatrick.
In that case, I would suggest RIP NSMF. Says it all, cost a little.
I want a bit more than that.
Okay, how about RIP Norm, loving hubby, dad, granddad. Leave room for wife.
Oh, I don't want that put on about me.
Oh, that won't be on there, that's just an instruction for the mason.
No, I want it done properly. I've written down what I want, and I don't want any spelling mistakes.
Well, he won't know if there are any, will he?
This is what I want.
Well, that's rather a lot. How would you like the letters? There are several fonts to choose from.
Fonts? It's a burial, not a christening.
Oh, another good one, I remember that one.
Somebody thought I'd make a joke out of everything for ages. Well, don't you start, I'm having enough trouble with him.
Okay, I will sort out a quote based on Dartmoor granite, Roman font, gold lettering, including erection costs. How does that sound?
Right. Well, get on with it then. Don't take too long about it.
There's no rush, he's not going anywhere, is he?
No, but we are. I've had enough of your jokes. We'll find another mason. Come along, Anne.
Don't seem to get a lot of work nowadays. my price is too high.
See, I've got to do all the on and off as well. The short staff. Norman, if you put my mic on. Can you hear me? That's better, thank you, Norman. Look at my ass for a minute, I won't be long. Right, I'm going to read you one of my poems, what I wrote. Some of you know I write poems as well. This is called Piercings. I despair at the younger generation, don't you? Yeah. Do my head in. Anyway, this is called Piercings. She had 3 studs in her left ear, another 4 in her right. 1 through her nose, 1 in her eyebrow. God, she was a sight. There's 1 through her lip and 1 in her tongue, looking just like a flap. She didn't have very much money, was worth a hell of a lot of scrap. When it came to bodily mutilation, this girl was in a different league. If she ever suffers an illness, it'll probably be metal fatigue. She always gets stopped at the airport. They detect her screaming to bust. She can't go out in the rain because most of her will start to rust. She says she wants a boyfriend. There's those interested, I'm willing to bet. You'll find she's easy to pull. You just need a very strong magnet. She don't worry about getting lost. No need for a high-vis reflector. If she ever disappears, we'll find her with a metal detector. She's thinking of having some more done, just to heighten her sexual tension. It's her belly button and nipples and somewhere else I can't even mention. I haven't mentioned her tattoos on her body in various spots. If you look at them in the piercing, it looks like they joined up the dots. I suppose it's all right when you're young, but what about when she's older? And everything's going south. She'll have earlobes down to her shoulder. I hope she elects to be cremated, because it doesn't matter where or when. For now, her piercings are useful. We just melt her down and use her again. I know my father would be very proud to see me here tonight. I don't know where he is, but I do know he's looking down on me. He's not dead, he's just a condescending bastard. Paddy was going into town. His wife said, Paddy, would you go into solicitors? Your Uncle Murphy left us all that money. We haven't had it yet, but you find out where it is. So he said, I will. And he went to the solicitor. He said, I'm after that money. My Uncle Murphy left me. Where is it? And the solicitor said, awfully sorry, Paddy. He said, but there's been a rupture in the bill of probate. And I can't release any of the funds till I've got all the legacies together. Paddy said, right. He went home, his wife said, did you get the money? He said, no, I didn't. He said, there's somebody else involved called bill of probate. And he's been ruptured. And we can't have our money until they get his legs and knees back together. My grandson said to me, he said, Granddad, he said, how do buffaloes make love? I said, no idea, I'm a mason. Well, you have to keep up, you have to be a bit quicker, you know. We get ready for our first of our musical instruments. You're going to enjoy these two. This is Bromyard's answer to Sonny and Cher. Put your hands together for Jill and Francis, thank you.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening. Would you like us to tune or sharply boiler? Well, we've been practicing tuning lately. Right, we are in fact 2 of the 4 3 disagrees, and while you're working that one out, we'd like to start with, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Me?
No, the rest of the orchestra. Yes, you.
I was just starting the piece.
We don't use the bow for this. We only use the bow for posh audiences. Look at this lot. Haven't even dressed for the occasion. We'd like to do a song that is about interacting with a charming young man about Bromyard, such as, well, me probably. I've been in love before, babe, I know what love is for. Darling, you won't make me fall again. I just want you for tonight, and tomorrow night I might. I don't want to see you after then. I don't mind if I have to pay, I don't care what people say. You won't see me for dust when I'm done. As long as I can borrow, I don't think about tomorrow. There ain't no more to life than having fun. I've been in love before, babe, I know what love is for. Darling, you won't make me fall again. I just want you for tonight, and tomorrow night I might. I don't want to see you after then. Get me a beer and then some more beer and breakfast when I come round. I have very simple needs, as you can see. I can see you for an hour, don't expect no flowers. They produce an allergy in me. I've been in love before, babe, I know what love is for. Darling, you won't make me fall again. I just want you for tonight, and tomorrow night I might. I don't want to see you after then. Get me a car to ride around in, you know I won't go far. I just like to be seen around in something nice. You can get it with a loan, now don't you start to moan. It's only money and I always spend it twice. I've been in love before, babe, I know what love is for. Darling, you won't make me fall again. I just want you for tonight, and tomorrow night I might. I don't want to see you after then. Now don't tell me goodbye, babe, you won't make me cry. I've left girls like you all over town. I'm going out tonight, and I'll come back when I like. If you're not happy then, I guess I'll see you around. I've been in love before, babe, I know what love is for. Darling, you won't make me fall again. I just want you for tonight, and tomorrow night I might. I don't want to see you after then. No, I don't want to see you after then. Honey, I don't want to see you ever again. How many dog lovers in the audience?
Yay!
Oh, I thought I saw some. You like poodles?
No.
Well, yeah, we could try that again and get it right, but never mind. You're no good at training dogs, I don't suppose. Anyway, it's nice when you're out for a walk, walking the dog, and you run into somebody else who's walking the dog as well. It's just nice to get together, isn't it? Now listen here, babe, gonna sing you a little song. Don't get mad, cause ain't no harm. I wanna play with your poodle. Play with your poodle, do sing along. Wanna play with your poodle, I mean your little poodle dog. I like the way he wags his tail. I'd buy him, but I guess he ain't for sale. Let me play with your poodle. Play with your poodle. Wanna play with your poodle, I mean your little poodle dog. Sing along. He's the best little poodle I ever seen. What I likes about it is he keeps it so clean. Let me play with your poodle. Play with your poodle. I wanna play with your poodle, I mean your little poodle dog. Your poodle got long black shaggy hair, got a face just like a teddy bear. Let me play with your poodle. Play with your poodle. I wanna play with your poodle, I mean your little poodle dog. He's so well groomed, he looks so grand. If I lays a finger on him, he'd be like silk in my hand. Let me play with you, poodle. Play with you, poodle. I want to play with you, poodle. I mean your little poodle dog. If you go to China, he might wind up as a steak. I go to, I might eat him by mistake. Let me play with you, poodle. Play with you, poodle. I want to play with you, poodle. I mean your little poodle dog. I met him down Little Hereford Street. Gave him a kiss, man, it tasted so sweet. Let me play with you, poodle. Play with you, poodle. I want to play with you, poodle. I mean your little poodle dog. Put your puppy down on the floor. My puppy wants to play with your Labrador. Let me play with you, poodle. Play with you, poodle. I want to play with you, poodle. I mean your little poodle dog. I want to play with you, poodle. I mean your little poodle dog. Mean your little poodle dog. Thank you. We'll do your run through of that in future. Get you singing. We're indebted to the fabulous Anne Steele for this next number. Which Jill's going to sing.
I did wonder if my husband would object to me singing this in public. And he saw the words and looked through them with a bit of a frown. And he got down to a certain part and then he smiled and I knew it would be okay. So I'm going to leave you to guess which part it was that made him a bit happier.
Candace folk music.
Yeah, you can believe it.
That's the pub audience you do that for.
Again. Have you met my husband? He really is a dear. By day he is a builder, at night he goes quite queer. While he's mixing concrete, he does a little twirl. And though he's 6'7", he wants to be a girl. Oh, my old man's a drag queen, he wears a sequin frock. He don't wear no trousers, he's hung like Brighton Rock. He sometimes wears a corset to cover up that part. He thinks he looks gorgeous, I think he looks a tart. I wish my man would swagger instead of swinging hips. Loves to, or sport a hairy moustache, but he loves to wax his lips. He's always in the bathroom, powdering his nose, or going through my wardrobe, stretching all my clothes. Oh, my old man's a drag queen, he wears a sequin frock. He don't wear no trousers, he's hung like Brighton Rock. He sometimes wears a corset to cover up that part. He thinks he looks gorgeous, I think he looks a tart. While other men go fishing, he'll be down the shops, trying on the dresses and sparkly sequin tops. Other men are driving sports or classic cars. He'll linger by the lingerie, coveting the bras. Oh, my old man's a drag queen, he wears a sequin frock. He don't wear no trousers, he's hung like Brighton Rock. He sometimes wears a corset to cover up that part. He thinks he looks gorgeous, I think he looks a tart. He really is a strange one, it really is a fag. When your Harvey shops for shoes to match his pink handbag, he paints his toenails purple just because he can, while singing all the words to Stand By Your Man. Oh, my old man's a drag queen, he wears a sequin frock. He don't wear no trousers, he's hung like Brighton Rock. He sometimes wears a corset to restrain that part. He thinks he looks
looks gorgeous, I think he looks a tot. He thinks he looks gorgeous, I think he looks a tot.
Right, another quick poem what I writ. It's called The Plate. I went out to dinner the other night, only because I thought I would. I ordered a medium rare steak. It arrived on a piece of wood. I called the waiter over and said, could you please explain to me why my steak has arrived on something that was once growing tree? He said, it's all about aesthetics. As a pub, we must make our mark. I said, I'm more concerned about hygiene. There's germs concealed in the bark. He said, it's all been sterilised. The machine is the latest of things. I said, rubbish, it's hundreds of years old. I know, I've counted the rings. He said, why don't you just try it? Our customers were trying to please. I said, well, be it on your head if I come down with Dutch elm disease. Well, I survived the main course and then decided I'd have a sweet. I went for a lemon meringue pie just to give myself a treat. Very soon arrived. It was not long that I had to wait. But imagine my surprise. It was served on a piece of slate. I said, no, hang on a minute. Can you please give me proof that this has not just fallen off somebody's nearby roof? The waiter said he was sorry and would have a word with his boss. I said, yes, and while you're at it, could you take away all this moss? After I'd had me pudding, I found I had a bit of a cough. I didn't ask for a coffee in case it was served in a trough. I'll not be going out for a while. It's turned into something I hate. I'll eat at home, on my own, and use that thing. It's called a plate. I've been training this lot for weeks and they don't help it. They're supposed to be taking this lot off. Honest, I've got to do everything. I'm not getting picked. Get Roy, grab hold of that, will you? We're running late. I've got to get moving on. Come on. This next sketch takes place in the King's Arms any afternoon. These two old buggers, so you want to hear what they got to say. Two old men in the pub.
I say, have you seen this article in the paper today?
What are you referring?
It says here that the relationship most likely to fail is that of lesbians.
What do you read into that?
Well, I suppose if you want to get married, you don't want to live in Lesbania.
I suppose so. What is the population of Lesbania?
I don't know, but it seems that most of them are single.
Where is it?
Where?
Lesbania.
I don't know.
Surely you've got some idea.
Well, I would say, geographically speaking, somewhere east of here.
I'm not familiar with that language.
What language?
Geographically. You said they were speaking geographically.
No, I was speaking geographically. It's not what they speak, it's where they are.
But where do they speak geographically?
Geographically is not a language. Nobody speaks it.
Well, keep your hair on. There's no need to get shirty. I was only asking.
Yeah, well, I will leave it at that, don't you?
What language do they speak?
I don't know! Probably Lesbanese, I should think.
I shouldn't read that newspaper anymore. It only makes you angry.
Because here comes Jethro!
not very bloody happy, I'll tell you now. Bloody fed up. My bloody fat bitch of a wife, a fat cow. You know what she said to me? She said, could you please bloody explain to me reincarnation? I said, well, when you die, you come back as something completely different. She said, oh, I might come back as a pig. I said, you're not bloody listening, are you? My friend Denzel Pemberton's what a tosser. Bloody, I can't believe him. We had the Antique Roadshow come to St. Giles, and Denzel said, what I got to do? I said, what you got to do is, I said, you got to go in the attic, I said, and find something that's very, very old, and take it to the man, and he'll tell you what it is, and what it's worth. Well, next morning, he's got the biggest bloody parcel you've ever seen. Christ. Denzel, he took it to the man, and the man said, tell me, he said, how long has this been in your family? And Denzel said, well, it's been in the attics. His grandfather was a boy, and we've always wondered what it is and what it's worth. He said, well, I can tell you what it is. He said, it's a bloody water tank. Look, we had these tourist incidents, just had American tourists. Christ. Shit. He said to me, chummy. I called me bloody chummy. Bloody tosser. He said, tell me, he said, why do some of your cows have horns and some of your cows don't have horns? I said, well, what it is, I said, you see that red and white cow over there? I said, well, that red and white cow's an Ayrshire, and Ayrshire's have horns. And that cow's an Ayrshire, that's why it's got horns. I said, you see that black and white cow over there? He said, yes. I said, that's a Parisian, and Parisians have horns, and that black and white cow's a Parisian, that's why it's got horns. I know what's confusing you, I said. That's that big brown cow over there by the gate. And the reason that big brown cow over there by the gate has not got any horns is as follows. The big brown cow over by the gate is a bloody horse. That Denzo, he's a tosser. I was in the pub Sunday morning, he'd come in, he got the black eye. I said, what you been doing, you tosser? He said, well, what happened was, he said, we was in church, and we stood up to sing the hymns, and I noticed the woman in front, her skirt was stuck up her ass. So I pulled it out, and she turned around and smacked me in the eye. I said, you tosser, you behave yourself in church. Next Sunday morning, I'm in the pub, he come in, the other bloody eye's black now. I said, what the hell have you been doing, you tosser? He said, well, what happened was, we stood up to sing the hymns, he said, and the woman in front, her skirt was stuck up her ass. And the man next to me pulled it out. He said, I knew she didn't like that, so I stuffed it back in again. You should have been here bloody last week. Where were you? You should have been here last week. We had one of them hypnotists here on the stage. He was here. And the whole audience was full of smokers. He was going to hypnotize them all into giving up smoking. He was. And he had a little table like this, and he had one of them metronomes, you know, tick tock, tick tock. He said, you're all feeling very, very tired. Your eyes are very heavy. You're all going to sleep. And he's waving his arms like this. And he knocked the metronome off. He said, oh shit, you've never seen such a bloody mess in your life. Sue's just got that. She'll be with you in a minute. Try and they all shit themselves, Sue. Jesus. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's enough from Death Row. We've got to get a move on for our next sketch. This is something I recently went through and wished to bloody hell I hadn't. It's called The Wedding. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are gathered here today to join together Melvin.
I'm Melvin. Melvin.
I'm sorry, to join together Melvin and Susan.
Rebecca?
I'm sorry, I thought I was marrying Gavin and Susan. Now it's Melvin and Rebecca.
No, it's not.
I beg your pardon?
I've no idea who he is.
I've seen her before.
Oh dear, well you've both come here today to get married.
Yes.
To who?
Well, my fiancé, but he hasn't turned up.
Nor is mine.
Is either of them called Gavin or Susan?
Mine isn't.
No, not mine.
Oh dear, well, what would you both like to do?
I've been looking forward to this for ages.
So have I.
Well, seeing as you're here together, would you like to get married? So all set to conduct this wedding ceremony. Would you like to marry each other?
But I don't know her.
Allow me to introduce you. Melvin, this is Rebecca. Rebecca, this is Melvin. There, now you know each other.
Well, that's not enough. I need to know her better.
There's no point, mate. You've only changed you as soon as you're married.
Charming, and I know nothing about him.
Well, that doesn't matter. You know you'll try and change him anyway.
That's the point.
I'm not sure I'm happy about that.
Trust me, mate, you won't have any choice.
What if it doesn't work out?
Well, there's a 70% chance that the marriage will fail, so the odds aren't in your favour anyway.
When you put it like that, we may as well take a chance. I've always been a bit of a gambling man.
Well, you'll have to stop that straight away.
You sound like a married couple already.
Happy about that.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a banker.
Pardon?
I said I'm a banker. What do you do?
I'm a chef.
Oh, it's a match made in heaven, you see. You can cook the books and you can cook the lunch. Now, what do you say? Shall we go for this wedding? Because I've got another one in 5 minutes.
Well, I'm game if he is.
Well, if she's game, I'll take a shot at it.
Right, let's get going then. Do you, Melvin, take Rebecca to be your lawful wedded wife?
I do.
Do you, Rebecca, take Melvin to be your lawful wedded husband?
I do.
I now pronounce you man and wife, and you may kiss the bride.
He may not. I hardly know him. You needn't think you're having fun tonight. I never sleep with a man on the first date.
I'm saying nothing. After that, I've got to read this poem. Pam Ayres wrote a poem called My Husband. It was very derogatory about men. This was my reply. It's called The Wife. My wife is brilliant, and since the day that we were wed, she's been able to remember things I never ever said. Where we were when I never said it, and if we were home or away, the clothes I wore, the state of the weather, and even the time of day. She remembers all the little things I somehow managed to get wrong. How many years have we been married? Not sure, but it's far too bloody long. She reminds me of all the mistakes I made, as if I wanted to know, and not things that happened last week, but years and years ago. Little insignificant things, like an anniversary I forgot. I didn't do it every year, just 5 times, that's not a lot. I found the secret to happy marriage. Single beds is what you need. One of them in Bromyard, the other in Berwick-on-Tweed. What do you want for Christmas? I said, feeling a little apprehensive. How about a divorce, she said. I said I wasn't thinking of anything that expensive. She lost her temper the other day. My God, she started to blister. All I said was that when it came to sex, she wasn't as good as her sister. I came home drunk the other night after consuming 1 or 2 cakes. I'm not sure which was shut the tightest, her eyes or her bloody legs. She's always moaning and groaning, and I'm always dodging the flack. She said, what would you do if I left you? I said, I'd move out in case you come back. I must say she's let herself go. She's not in very good nick. You should see the size of her. Her blood gets travel sick. I'm not saying I don't like her, and you couldn't call it hatred. But if she lived in India, I'm sure she'd be bloody sacred. She says I never listen. I say I never heard her. If only she knew how often I've contemplated murder. She's been many things to me. Lover, companion, and nurse. The only reason I don't get rid of her is I might get one that's worse. the sketch now, but I forgot what it is. What? Oh, is it? Oh, it's them. Oh, yeah, this is good, this one. You like this one? This takes place in the Falcon Hotel on a 7:30 on a Tuesday evening.
Oh, no.
And any resemblance to people alive and dead is purely deliberate. God, you look sexy, darling. Oh. Thought she was going to play the cello then.
So how's it coming along? How's what coming along? That. Oh, soon be finished. So, any news or gossip? Oh no, you know me, always keep myself to myself. Yes, dear. So how's your, you know? It's just the same, never changes. They don't, do they? Mine's the same. Oh, I must tell you, I was in the court the other day, and you know that woman behind the till? The tall one with the blonde hair and the big... Oh, I know, yes. Well, apparently her husband has run off with her from the chemist. No. Oh, yes. The thin one or the other one? The other one. Oh, the brazen pussy. And she looks so prim and proper. You know her husband, don't you? No, I don't think I do. Oh, yes, you do. He's that tall, skinny one in overalls, always standing outside the pub smoking. Oh, the one with the tattoo on his neck? No, the other one. Oh, I know now. The one whose overalls always covered in paint. No idea what he does for a living. Well, he'll be getting his own dinner from now on. Oh, and you know Thingamy-Bob from the charity shop. The one with the facial hair. No, the other one. Oh, what about her? Well, she's been caught with her fingers in the till. No. Oh, yes. Oh, I never liked the look of her. Her eyes are too close together. How look what do you get? Stealing from a charity shop. She'd set fire to her grandmother, that one. She could get 10 pence for the ashes. I see what's her name's pregnant again. Oh, no. How many does that make now? That'll be 7. And she's still a single mum. I bet Father's Day is a bit confusing in her life. I bet she doesn't know any of the fathers, the amount she drinks. Oh, I don't know what the world's coming to. And it's us who has to pay for it all. Right, well, that's right. Anyway, I must be going. I'm going to meet with... Oh, how is she now? Oh, get a bit fed up with her. All she does is talk about other people. That would get on my nerves. Well, lovely to talk to you. Must be going. Bye. Bye, dear. Look after yourself. Just finish this row and then I'll be following you.
Anybody recognise him?
No.
No. My pet mouse died today. Oh. He was called Elvis. He was caught in a trap. This next musician, we're going to musical interlude now, and I'm going to tell you about this next guy. He's coming on it. This guy's probably one of the finest musicians in his price range. And I don't want to worry you, but tonight he's working for nothing. Put your hands together for Alistair.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Nice to see you. I'll just get this sorted out because my instrument is very heavy and I am very ancient. Hey. Now it's considered polite to tune a banjo, but I'm afraid I haven't got the lump hammer with me. So we're going to just have a quick go to check it's roughly right. That's good enough for you lot anyway. Right, here we go. Right, I should really be sitting in a rocking chair for this one, but you'll just have to put up with this plastic job. You just can't get the staff these days. Now, Patrick McGinty, an Irishman of note, going to a fortune and bought himself a goat. Says he, now a goat's milk, I'm going to have me fill. But when he got his nanny home, he found it was a bill. All the young ladies who live in Killaloe are all wearing busses like their mothers used to do. They each got a petticoat beneath their undercoat, and they'd lead the left to Providence and Paddy McGinty's go to Mrs. Burke to her daughter, says, listen, Mary Jane, who was that lad you were cuddling in the lane? He'd long hairy whiskers hanging from his chin. 'Twas only Pat McGinty's goat, she answered with a grin. She went away from the village in disgrace, came back with powder and paint upon her face. She rings on her fingers and she wore a sable coat. You can bet your sweet life she didn't get that from Pat McGinty's goat. Big Riley, he went to the races the other day. He won €50 and he shouted hip hooray. He held up the notes saying, look at what I've got. Along come Pat McGinty's goat and snabbled up the lot. He's eaten the banknote, says Mickey with a hump. They sent for the doctor to bring a stomach pump. He pumped and he pumped for the $20 note, but all he got was 9p out of Paddy McGinty's goat. Now old Paddy's goat had a wondrous appetite. One morning for breakfast he swallowed dynamite, a big box of matches, he swallowed all serene, and then he went and swallowed up a pint of kerosene. He sat by the fireside, he didn't give a hang. He swallowed a spark and it exploded with a bang. So if you go to heaven, you can bet a euro note that the angel with the whiskers on is Pat McGinty's goat. Thank you very much. Now you'll be spotted I am not the most svelte individual, although there is, we could take bets on whether it's me or Gordon who weighs the most. But, so this next song is about the low carbon diets which afflict upper middle-aged men like me, and the diet they have to put up with. It has got a bit of a chorus, but the chorus is different on the third verse, so just telling you in case you get sort of upset. All breakfast, black coffee, a slice of dry toast, no butter, no jelly, no jam. Lunch, just some lettuce. I can't read it, honestly. 2 celery stalks, no booze, no potatoes, no ham. Dinner, 1 chicken when broiled or fried. No gravy, no biscuits, no pie. Dieting, it sure is a rough way to die. So pass me a carrot stick, peel me a prune, a glass of skimmed milk, and that's all. Turn off the TV, that Big Mac commercial is driving me right up the wall. I'm thinking of French fries and sauces and waffles, spaghettis, cookies and cake. Each night I'm dreaming of chocolate ice cream, but starving to death when I wake. Supper, 2 pieces of cauliflower, raw, a beefsteak the size of my nail, a slice of tomato, a small dab of slaw. I swear they eat better in jail. And stop eating that pizza right under my nose. Girl, that's the least you can do. And put down that chocolate bar while I am singing, 'cause I'm starving me pants off for you. So pass me a carrot stick, peel me a prune, a glass of skimmed milk, and that's all. Turn up the TV, that Big Mac commercial is driving me right up the wall. I'm thinking of French fries and sauces and waffles, spaghettis and cookies and cake. Each night I'm dreaming of chocolate ice cream, and I'm starving to death when I wake. You're making the kids creamed mashed potatoes, but it's bouillon and water for me. You got a lock on our refrigerator, God knows where you've hidden the key. And while I am starving from food late at night, I'm starving for loving from you. But you say that while my BMI is high, I'm just far too tubby for you. So pass me a carrot stick, pile me a prune, a glass of skim milk, and that's all. You and Jane Fonda and that lovely green goddess, they're driving me right up the wall. Now when I am dead and the insurance is paid, you'll look down at me and you'll grin. You say, well, the boy tried and he suffered and died, but don't he look great now he's thin? Died and died and died and died, and sure is a rough way to die. Finally, you will probably all guess which airline this next song is about. It probably. So here we go. This isn't my song, none of the other two, but this is written by Dilly Keane from Fascinating Aida. I have, however, cleaned it up sufficiently to be performed in public without being arrested. So. I received an invitation in the post one Monday morn to attend a cousin's wedding in the town where I was born. The do was down in Kerry, so wishing to be frugal, I trawled the net to try to find some travel deals in Google. Cheap flights, cheap as cheap could be. My dad found an airline doing flights for 50p. I clicked on through the website and was mightily surprised to find the actual price wasn't quite as advertised. I'd forgotten the airport taxes had also to be billed, but a bargain is a bargain, and begorra I was thrilled. Cheap flights stands to trilly. It isn't every airline does your flights for 50p. I clicked on through the website to see what might be best. I booked priority boarding so my seat might be the best. And then of course there's luggage, that's an extra cost. And then I bought insurance in case my case it might get lost. Cheap flights, it's obvious to see. There must be extra charges if your flight is 50p. At length I'd sorted out all of the additions. I'd read the reams and reams of terms and conditions. But then I got the charge for using Visa, which was drastic, 'cause how the heck are you supposed to pay if not with flipping plastic? Cheap flights, I should have gone by sea. There's no such flipping thing as a flight for 50p. Now I don't know if you've tried locating Stansted on the map. But checking in at 5 a.m. is a total load of crap. You banjacks if you need to use the tube or underground, and a taxi to the arse of the world will cost you £100. Cheap flights, I should have gone by sea. No such flipping thing as a flight for 50p. And when I reached the airport, I had to pay a fine. I had to pay a fine cause I hadn't checked in online. And when aboard the aircraft, there's another class of tax. The smiling swine that charge you if you need to use the jacks. Cheap flights, it's obvious to see. Only total fools think they're paying 50p. And when, of course, we landed, we shuffled up the aisle, and the steward sent us down to the back with never a hint of a smile. And as we heard this announcement, me heart gave a terrible thump. If you haven't prepaid to use the steps, you'll have to frickin' jump. Cheap flights, cheap can be. Only two collegiates think they're paying 50p.
Thank you, Alistair. That's right. What a pleasure. Thank you very much. Did you want your gin and tonic? Gin in there. Very much. Thank you. Why do they put a sell-by date on sour cream? Why do women spend a fortune getting hair removed from their face then buy false eyelashes? Why don't you just have it moved? This next sketch probably explains better than anything my very strange sense of humour. It takes place in the vets. Thank you.
Good morning. And what can I do for you?
My dog is not very well.
Which dog?
This dog?
You don't have a dog.
I've had a dog for years.
You don't seem to have one now.
I should know whether I have a dog or not. This is my King Charles Spaniel, and he's not very well.
King Charles Spaniel, I think he's abdicated. What do you think is wrong with him?
Well, he's lost a bit of weight.
A bit? He's lost all of it.
And he's off his food as well.
How can you tell?
Well, I put the food in a bowl and it's still there 3 days later.
Oh, what a surprise!
And people give me funny looks when I take him out for a walk.
Oh, you don't say.
Well, they look at him and then give me a funny look.
Do they?
They must be able to see there's something wrong.
You've bloody good eyesight then, haven't you?
One day it got so bad I had to pick him up and carry him.
Oh, did they still give you funny looks?
Yes.
I can't believe I'm hearing that.
He's so cruel. He hasn't barked for weeks.
Yes, I would expect that to be one of the symptoms of total disappearance.
So it's serious then. Is there a cure?
Well, why don't you give him some of these pills? You dropped one.
Should I see an improvement then?
I hope you'll be seeing something, yes.
Are you alright then? Oh. And how he's doing that, he hasn't eaten for days. Pay on the way out, shall I?
Oh, yes. You'll be paying with virtual money, I suppose.
Whatever do you mean?
Now you see the way my mind works. His next poem is just a little bit different. I wrote this when I was in New Zealand. I have family in New Zealand. And in Queenstown, New Zealand, there's a little shop called the British Lolly Shop, because they call sweets lollies in New Zealand and Australia. I went in there with my grandchildren when they were about this big, and their eyes just burst open. And it's full of all the old-fashioned sweets that we all remember. I'm sure those who I believe we had a shop in Bromyard like it for a while, and it closed, did it? But anyway, this is called Nostalgia. Oh, I remember the years gone by, those days of my misspent youth, when sherbet fountains were all the rage and the curse of every tooth. We had sweet cigarettes with a bit of red on the end, so we could pretend that we were smoking. Then we shoved the whole lot in our mouth at once and nearly end up choking. There were tree-bore refreshers. We ate them in twos, 'cause one would melt on your tongue. And flying saucers filled with sherbet, they didn't last very long. You could get licorice in the shape of a pipe and pretend you were Sherlock Holmes. And gobstoppers you could suck all day, you'd have done less damage chewing stones. Opal fruits to make your mouth water, and wine gums from a jar by the quarter. There were jelly babies in different colours. People didn't care what sex they were. I always asked for the little boys, because they had that little bit extra rare. It took 2 hands to hold a wagon wheel, and it covered half your face. One bite of the things you get today and it's gone without a trace. Do you remember the everlasting strip? You could chew it for hours. And then those little violet things that tasted like a bunch of flowers. There were love hearts that told your future. You were going to get married, of course. I ate tubes and tubes of them. Not one of them mentioned divorce. We had halfpenny chews and blackjacks. You could get 4 of them for a penny. And jamboree bags and aniseed balls. Oh, the tastes were varied and many. I sucked and chewed through my childhood days, caring not a single jot. And then in my early 20s, all my teeth started to rot. Do I regret it? Am I sorry? Do I wish someone had said, no, I got my precious memories stuck here inside my head. We've got another sketch now. This is probably one of the most dismal, depressing places you'll ever visit in your whole bloody life. It's called the hospital waiting room. Thank you.
Do you mind if I sit here?
Not at all, please sit down. Oh, I wouldn't touch that if I were you.
Why not?
Would you know how many people have touched that? They've all got something wrong with them.
I hadn't thought of that. You're right, of course.
That's the trouble with this place. You come in with one thing, you go out with 2 or 3 others. Look at those cobwebs over there. They don't even clean the place.
Well, it is the NHS. I suppose we have to put up with it.
Don't have any choice, do we? Anyway, who have you come to see?
Dr. Hodgson.
Oh dear.
What's the matter with him?
Well, last time he touched me, I nearly leapt off the couch. His hands were so cold.
You've seen him before, have you?
I've seen all of them one time or another.
Well, he shouldn't be touching me.
Don't you worry, I'll find some reason to touch you.
Oh, I say, is he like that?
Should be struck off if you ask me. He's the only ear, nose and throat specialist that asks you to strip off. He seems to think we have very deep throats.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
I'll have to watch him then. Who are you seeing?
Dr. Andrews.
Oh, and what's he like?
Oh, he's lovely. He even warms his stethoscope. He's got lovely soft hands. He's so good looking.
What's his area of expertise?
Well, he's a skin specialist. Trouble is, whenever I see him, I start panting.
He thinks I've got asthma. What have you got? Eczema.
Do you see him often?
Oh, as often as I can. He seems to think my eczema's getting worse, but my asthma's getting worse.
Not surprised. Does he prescribe things for you?
Well, yes, he does, but I don't use them.
Why ever not?
Well, I don't want to get better, do I? It's the only excitement I've got in my life. Oh, it's my turn to go in. It's been lovely talking to you. Keep your clothes on. Bye.
Thank you. Just recently, my son, unfortunately, was diagnosed with a lazy eye and unfortunately spread to the rest of his body. Ladies and gentlemen, this next sketch takes place in a charity shop. I'm not going to say which one because I promised I wouldn't. Didn't I, Vicky?
Oh, look out, Mavis. Here comes your fancy man, the fat controller.
All you can do is talk about trains.
Oh, but you know how much he likes you.
It's not funny.
Toot toot. Good morning, ladies. Good morning.
Morning, Mr. Grimes.
I told you before, you can call me Gerald.
We've told you that we're not allowed to be too familiar with the customers.
Oh, that's more the pity.
What did you say?
I said you was very pretty.
Thank you, but I still can't call you Gerald.
Have you anything in that's associated with railways?
Since yesterday? No.
Well, I was just passing, so I thought I'd call in.
Mr. Grimes, this is a dead-end street and we're the last shop in it. If you're passing by, you're going to walk through a brick wall.
Are you sure you haven't had anything in that would be suitable for my railway?
Oh, how about a signed photo of Thomas the Tank Engine?
I think you're trying to make fun of me. I'm very serious about my engines, you know. I've got 6 locomotives, lots of rolling stock and 17 miles of track.
We know.
You've told us
Many times.
I'd love you to see my railways, lady. I've named the 3:30 to Liverpool after you. It's always on time, it's very reliable, and it's very, very attractive.
Is that supposed to be a compliment?
Well, I didn't mean, Mace, I didn't mean that you were old. I mean, you know, I was talking about the railways. You look very young for your age.
I think you've said enough now.
I would stop right there if I were you, Mr. Christ, before you get in any more trouble.
Well, I'll be getting along then now. Tatty bye. See you again soon.
Not if I can help it.
What did you say?
She said we look forward to it.
Oh yes. And so would I. So would I. Bye-bye.
Oh, thank goodness he's gone.
Oh, Angela, I know we should be grateful, but honestly, I think people just use us as dumping grounds sometimes.
Guys, what have you found?
Oh, plastic hamburger.
Anything else?
Oh, a rather nice clock.
Does it work?
Yes, it's 20 past.
20 past what?
I don't know, it's only got one hand.
Have we sold that t-shirt yet?
Which one's that?
The one that says Phil Marbuffers on it?
Yes, Mr. Grimes bought it.
Mr. Grimes.
That's nothing like the charity shop I work in. This poem has to be read, I'm sorry. Some of you heard it before, but you're going to hear it again. Ode to the Falcon. John is in the mews, I think he's hiding away. Sylvia's in reception, busy writing another play. John's not very good at hiding. Sylvia finds him without fail. You see, his laugh has been recorded at 6.9 on the Richter scale. John looks dapper in his waistcoat, personality does not lack. And Sylvia always looks smart, seems her favourite colour is black. Some customers walk in, stand there not saying a word. They must be total strangers, they're expecting to get served. John. It's too true to be funny. John finally gets their drinks. He did it all by himself. But they never got their change, he'd give it to someone else. On a Tuesday there's music, they come from near and far. Some weeks there are so many you can't get near the bar. John likes to listen. He says it helps to pass the time. It's not long before Sylvia's shouting, "John, table 5's got no wine." Someone once said that they were very, very devoted. I'm not sure it was, but he's bloody misquoted. Sylvia is a tower of strength. John always stands beside her. And you mustn't believe a word that's written on TripAdvisor. Sylvia's style of customer service can only be described as unique. I've seen some customers quiver and some unable to speak. Sitting in the wrong place at breakfast is a very serious crime. And there is no point in arguing, you'll just be wasting your time. Staying at the Falcon is fun. There's never a moment that is dull. Sometimes you can't get in at all. All the rooms are full. Some people keep coming back to experience the place again. One must question their motives and ask if they have a brain. Say what you like about the Falcon, but please don't you dare run down John and Sylvia, because they're a breath of fresh air in this world full of misery, confrontation, trouble and strife. They're much better than Faulty Towers. These two are real life. This next sketch, we've all been here, and this man is exceedingly helpful. It's called The Travel Agent. Thank you.
Good morning, good morning. How can I help you? Ah, well, you've come to the right place. This is a travel agent. What did you have in mind?
She thought going somewhere in August.
August? Well, you do realise that every resort will be crammed with screaming children, don't you?
Well, yes, we have two of our own.
Oh, dear. What ages are they?
12 and 14.
Oh, God. Well, where were you thinking of going?
She was thinking of going somewhere in the Canaries.
Oh, yes, look, Canaries is a very good idea. And where were you thinking of sending your little children?
The same place, please.
Don't most parents take their children with them?
Not if they've got any sense. Will that be for 7 days or 14?
14, please.
Suckers for punishment, aren't you? Do you want bed and breakfast, half board, or all inclusive?
What do you recommend?
Well, since it's fairly certain you'll be driven to drink by the end of it, I suggest all inclusive.
Sounds like a good idea to me.
What sort of price are we looking at?
Oh, about £328 for a 4-star hotel with an indoor and outdoor pool and games room. Oh, but that one's fully booked.
Then why did you mention it?
Well, just to give you an idea of what's available.
But it's not available.
Well, that's beside the point, really.
Please just have another look.
Ah, yes, I've got one here. It's 500 yards from the beach, but it's got an activity club for children of all ages, so you'll be able to get rid of your little children.
Sounds like a good idea to me.
So what price would that be?
Yeah, that's for all four of you. That's £3,028, not including flights.
What would the flights cost?
Where do you want to fly from?
Birmingham would suit her better.
Right, Birmingham. And would you like your seats reserved for you?
Yes, please.
And what about the children?
Yes, those as well, please.
Right. Well, I'll try and book you seats as far apart as I can.
Can we sit together, please?
You do realise this is a 3.5-hour flight?
Yes.
I said I'm very glad. So, from Birmingham, 4 seats with you all sitting together. That's £978 for the flights.
That sounds okay. Would there be any other costs involved?
I could arrange a private transfer.
And what would be the advantage of that?
Well, you'd get to your hotel about an hour earlier, and of course you wouldn't have to put up with all those other passengers of this delightful children.
That sounds like a good idea to me.
We'll go for that. So what will be the total cost?
All in, that's £4,048.
I think that sounds okay. What do you think?
That sounds like a good...
You're beginning to get on my nerves. We'll go for that. Please make all the arrangements.
Very good. Right, I'll get that sorted and wish you both a very happy holiday. And I do hope you're both speaking to each other when you come back.
Paddy was showing me around his house. I said, Paddy, this room's got a very high ceiling. He said, yes, my wife wanted 2 rooms knocked into one. Similarity between a pelican and the VAT man is they can both stick their bills up their ass. The difference between a giraffe and a tractor is a tractor's got hydraulics. I'll let you think about it. It's working its way around. Ladies and gentlemen, there's another musical interlude. Now, this one's a bit different, just to explain to you what's going on. Apart from writing all this rubbish you've heard tonight, a few years ago, a friend of mine came up to me in the Falcon on a Tuesday night when I've been doing my poetry, and he said, Gordon, can you write song lyrics? I said, I don't know. I've never tried. He said, well, you do the lyrics and I'll do the music. So I sent him a song, and he emailed me back, said, done that one, write another one. And that was several years ago. And he's a great friend of mine. We call ourselves Brygore Music, so you can look us up. We've had 2 plays on Radio Worcester. We're still arguing over the bloody royalties. But we write songs together. Brian has put a band together which just plays our songs, and hopefully sometime before Christmas they'll be getting a gig. Probably in the Falcon, or maybe even the cricket club, we haven't decided yet, but they just play our music. And tonight, Brian is going to play just a few of our songs, and I hope you appreciate it. Please put your hands together for Mr. Brian Jones.
Is it on that day? Yeah. Okay. This is Keep Me in Your Heart. You might find these funny, but I hope not, because they're not meant to be. I know you think of me as I'm thinking of you. Every minute of every single day. 2 long spans apart puts a strain upon a heart thoughts can easily start to stray. So keep me in your heart, keep me in your head. Never ever let me go. The days, they seem so long, and the nights go on and on. But sometimes this is how it has to be. But to know that you are there, and to know how much you care, makes it easier being here. So keep me in your heart, keep me in your head. Never ever let me go. Whenever we're together, whenever we're apart, don't let me escape your soul. Never let me go. So when we meet again, we'll forget about the pain and revel in each other's company. We can love and we can share, no matter when or where. Be together yet somehow quite free. So keep me in your heart, keep me in your head. Never ever let me go. Keep me in your heart, keep me in your head. Never ever let me go. This one, Searching for the Light, it's about darkness. A bit more serious, but still. Darkness is cheap when you buy it at night, but it ain't a lot of use if you're searching for the light. Take a look, 'cause nothing comes to you. Take a chance, start trying something new. Make a break. It ain't easy to find just what you're looking for, and you're wasting your time leaning on an open door. Take a look, 'cause nothing comes to you. Take a chance, start trying something new. Make a break. Darkness is cheap, yeah, if you buy it at night, but it ain't a lot of use, no, if you're searching for the light. of trying something new, make or break. You can find it if you try, yeah. It's only out of sight. But don't try wrestling shadows, no. You'll only lose the fight. Darkness is cheap, yeah, when you buy it at night. But it ain't a lot of use, no, when you're searching for the light. Searching for the light. So I've got a few things for sale on eBay. I'm checking up on that. Right, you can dance in the arms if you want to. This is a bit more up tempo. Still searching on this one. I don't want love, don't want affection, just want to get me some sense of direction. Whichever way I look, I'm facing nowhere. I never seem to know which way to turn. It would help if I knew which way was up. I always seem to be stuck in a rut. Whichever way I look, I'm facing nowhere. I never seem to know which way to turn. And it ain't a lot of fun going round and round when you're searching for something. It ain't a lot of fun when it can't be found, searching for something good. It would help if I could find something new. Walk down a different street or avenue. Whichever way I look, I'm facing nowhere. I never seem to know which way to turn. To imagine a solo on this end. Where is that tunnel with the light at the end? Where is that road that doesn't have a bend? It's time to start moving on. I'm done with standing still. It would help if I knew which way was up. I always seem to be stuck in a rut. Whichever way I look, I'm facing nowhere. I never seem to know which way to turn. And it ain't a lot of fun going round and round when you're searching for something. It ain't a lot of fun when it can't be found, searching for something good. It ain't a lot of fun going round and round when you're searching for something. It ain't a lot of fun when it can't be found, searching for something good.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. The CD will be out soon, won't it, Brian?
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you very much.
Just another 13 tracks.
Yeah, another 13 tracks, he keeps telling me. I keep writing them, he keeps sticking them to music. At the last count, I'd written 67 and he put about 48 of them to music, so we should have enough for a couple of CDs. So I hope you've enjoyed yourselves. I'm going to invite back on the stage. Please, could I have all the actors and the musicians, could I have everyone on stage? It's going to be our finale tonight. My Christ, we're going to have a finish here, I tell you. Marvellous, marvellous, marvellous. Is everybody here? Anybody missing? We've got Father Christmas. Ladies and gentlemen, we come to our finale. We're going to do your song, and I think we'll probably do the one we rehearsed would be a good idea. Before we do, I want to say some thank yous. First of all, I want to say thank you to all of you for coming out tonight and supporting us. You've been a fantastic audience. Thank you so, so much. Secondly, I want to really say thank you to the staff of the Conquest Theatre, who I'm sure you all know give up their time for nothing. I think this is one of Bromyard's greatest assets, and we should treasure it and we should take care of it. So let's hear it for the staff of the Conquest Theatre. Finally, personally, I want to say a great big thank you to all of these people who've helped me put my words to life. And we've had such fun doing it. This lot haven't been laughing for 6 bloody months. Haven't we had fun? Yes? Oh, yeah. So from me to you lot, thank you so much. Okay. This is our final song. We want you all to join in. It's a great deal of fun. The chorus is very easy. And for this, I'm going to hand you over to Francis, who is in charge. Over to you, mate. Take it away.
The chorus changes a couple of times at the end, but hey, you get the idea.
You get the idea. Change it quite a lot in the middle.
Crossing the highway late last night, should have looked left and he should have looked right. Didn't see the station wagon come. The skunk got squashed, so there you are. Got your dead skunk in the middle of the road. Dead skunk in the middle of the road. Got your dead skunk in the middle of the road. Stinking to high heaven. Take a whiff on me, that ain't no rose. Roll up your windows and hold your nose. You don't have to look, you don't have to see. You can feel it with your olfactory. You got your dead skunk in the middle of the road. Dead skunk in the middle of the road. Got your dead skunk in the middle of the road. Stinking to high heaven. You got your dead toad frog, you got your dead rabbit and your dead raccoon. The blood and the guts is gonna make you swoon. You got your dead skunk in the middle of the road. Dead skunk in the middle of the road. You got your dead skunk in the middle of the road. Stinking to high heaven. And you got your dead fox, you got Dina's pet squirrel and a pair of dead socks. You don't wanna breathe, you just wanna die. Get out of your car and down you lie like a dead skunk in the middle of the road. Dead skunk in the middle of the road. Like a dead skunk in the middle of the road. Stinking to high heaven. Staggering home with a bottle in each hand, a woman with 6 pints of cider inside her. They all fall down, no one can move, just a pile of dead drunks with nothing left to prove. We were dead drunk in the middle of the road. Dead drunk in the middle of the road. Dead drunk in the middle of the road. Stinking to high heaven. rocket from Kim Jong. Trump plays passive, slap a face, squeal. Gun gets caught in a big cart's wheel. He's a dead Trump in the middle of the road. Dead Trump in the middle of the road. It's just a dead Trump in the middle of the road. Stinking a high heaven. Thank Norman for signing to the next